Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you've been well. So today is the day. Today is my last day with the Jayco Swift, this Class B RV from Jayco. So for those that don't know, Jayco sent me this van. It's kind of a long-ish term loaner. I've had it not quite a year so far. And I've done a bunch of cool stuff to it, and I've been using it, and it's been kind of a fun little van to get out when the weather's bad, or take the family out, or just have a little more comfort. So that is this van. It's based on the Promaster chassis, and it's been fun. So I haven't done just like a full walk around video of the van kind of in its final form. And obviously with my last day here with the van, it's in its final form that I will do to it anyway. I think there's gonna be a little more of the journey of this van that you can follow. Once I have all of the information on that, I'll let you guys know and maybe link to it down below if you're really curious about the adventures that this van's gonna kind of keep on going on. I will have an announcement at the end of this video for what is going to be replacing this van in my collection. Sorry, the exposure is kind of crazy right now. What I'm gonna do is grab this camera, pull it off the tripod, and kind of just walk you around and show you all the mods and the features and everything that I've done to the van. So the Jayco Swift, real quick, is a Class B, so it's a full Class B RV van. Has everything, including the kitchen sink and shower, toilet, everything you'd ever want, refrigerator. So I'll do kind of a quick rundown of that, kind of how it comes from factory, and then talk about all the mods and stuff. And I'll link to anything down below in the video description too. It's this little arrow that's like right there. If you're watching this on a mobile device, a tiny little arrow. YouTube says we don't want you to click links, so we're gonna kind of hide that from you. But if you're curious, it's there. So let's get into it. Cool, so yeah, I'm just gonna have the exposure on auto, which is hard because the sun, if you can see, is just like streaming through these trees here. And so it's casting like shadows here and then super bright here, but we'll get into it. First off, there's a really cool wrap on here. So this is topography lines, basically. So I kind of designed this wrap. The lines are from my friend Gabe Tam, tamfamgram.com. He made like a topo pattern himself, and he gave me the file so I could make a wrap out of it. And then I had Lucid Wraps, Jake at Lucid Wraps, kind of wrap it. And I thought it would be cool to kind of extend some of the pattern over here. Some people said it looks like water and stuff like that. And the reason is because not all of this glass is see-through on the other side. There's like some cabinetry and stuff back here. So I didn't obstruct much of the actual views, but kind of just did a cool thing with the wrap. And I'll show you inside here in a little bit as well. So I wanted basically a matte black base wrap with these bronze kind of stripes. And that ties into these bronze Black Rhino Yellowstone wheels. And I think these wheels just look awesome. So I did a 17-inch wheel, slightly larger tire than stock, but this isn't lifted or anything. It rubs like a tiny bit if it's flexed out over here, but does pretty well. And then put it on the BFG KO2 tires. This being a front-wheel drive van, tires are always important, but especially important when you just have the front wheels moving. It also bumped the offset a little bit wider, so it kind of makes the van look much more aggressive. So we'll just kind of go from front to back here probably. So this is a little Backwoods Adventure Mods front bumper here. And this gives you some good recovery points, gives you a place to mount a winch, obviously, gives you a place to mount some lights as well. So they're making this right now relatively lightweight. I'll link to it. They actually gave me a coupon code. There's a few Backwoods things on this van, so you can use LLOD for 10% off of everything at Backwoods, as well as Pathfinder. So these are the Pathfinder Lights they put on there as well. In amber. Looks pretty sweet. It's pretty functional. It's a pretty low profile bumper, so it doesn't stick out too much, and just kind of makes the front end of these relatively ugly vans look much better. So I actually just used bumper paint to paint these chrome steps black. So on both sides, change those from chrome to black. And then here, obviously the rear wheel is the same, rear wheel and tire, same. And this little guy here is pretty cool. Again, sorry for the crazy exposure on this thing, is MaxTrax. So these are MaxTrax. These are recovery boards, which again, for just, I use them on my 4-wheel drive crazy vehicles as well, but especially for front wheel drive, these will help you get traction in snow, mud, dirt, sand, whatever. So love to have these on hand, obviously for easy access. The cool thing here, this mount is from Ross Monster. They're actually selling it now as well. It's easier to do this with 2 hands, but I'll do it with 1 hand. This drops down to a table. So obviously the van is nice on the inside, but really I like getting outside. So I like to hang out outside the van a lot when I'm doing whatever, cooking or hanging out. And so this is just basically an extra little table that is outside the van. And the van does have a little 110 plug, just kind of your standard house plug right there. So nice little setup there. The van comes with these bike racks that I actually use quite a bit for biking, because a van, man, is the ultimate little biking. So I just take this, you know, just 15 minutes down to a trailhead, and I'll have cold drinks, or I'll be able to change out of my gear, wash my hands or whatever. So even the van, when it's not going on like overnight or week-long excursions, it's just really nice for just kind of day-to-day mountain bike stuff or whatever. And then the other thing back here is this full-size spare tire mount. So this is from Landed Gear. So we got a full-size spare. And the cool thing here is that it's not on any kind of a swing out or anything. It's just mounted right to the door. So that's been, I haven't actually gotten a flat or needed the full-size spare, so I can't say that's been used or anything, but super handy always, obviously, to have a full-size spare here. The Jayco Swift doesn't actually come with a spare tire at all. A lot of these Promaster Class B vans don't come with a spare underneath because we got a generator. We got a generator under there. So nice to get a spare tire on this. And then on the back here, we have a side ladder. So the Jayco does come with, the Jayco Swift comes with a ladder from default, but it's kind of a collapsible one that I keep inside. Aesthetically, adding a ladder to the side of vans just looks so awesome, but functionally, obviously, getting up there to clean solar panels or to hang out on the roof or whatever comes in handy as well. So this is a nice beefy ladder. This ladder from Backwoods mounts to their rack as well. So Backwoods also makes a rack system. So this is new from Backwoods. So I have a lot of open roof space, and probably if I was owning this long term, I'd do some more stuff up here, maybe make a deck, a rooftop deck or something, or add more solar. But for now, just the 190 watts of Go Power solar on the front that charges the 200 amp hours of batteries underneath. So solar panel, roof access, but you can kind of walk around up here, hang out up here, and hanging out on top of a van is just cool. So having the side ladder on is useful for that, obviously cleaning off solar panel or if you need to access anything up here. And the rack system basically just has these extruded aluminum crossbars, so it's super easy to mount more accessories if you wanted to put some storage boxes or kind of extend the functionality of what you got on the roof up here. And you can also kind of move these bars around, add more bars, remove some bars, whatever you want. So kind of a nice modular setup. So yeah, the Jayco Swift, and then the only thing is I spray painted the edges of the solar panel black. It's kind of hard to see with the light, but now it's just all black up there. And then they remounted the awning. So this is an awning that comes from factory. So the Jayco Swift will come with this awning, and will actually come with a rack system as well. I just kind of wanted to add a new beefier one up there. So then going inside, I honestly didn't change much. There's this little thing here, which is crazy expensive for what it is. It's like 60 bucks for this little piece of, I don't even know what it is, probably aluminum, I'm guessing. And that tiny thing there is kind of nice because normally there's no stop for the door. So this little roller here will stop there. and it'll natively stop kind of as it hits the ramp, and then you pull it a little more and it drops basically into the little thing there. And so that keeps the van door from flying open all the way, which is nice because you only need this much space to get in and out of the van. So then you have that, and it's not as wide open. And then if you want to open it all the way, you just push it beyond, and then you'll get the full access into the van. I added this little table here, wrapped it with the same vinyl. So again, I like hanging out outside, and having more table space just to put drinks or whatever on is really nice. These are on just some little arms that I bought on Amazon. It's kind of a two-hand closure type system. And one thing that comes from factory is this little bug mesh screen that's like a slider door. So that's pretty nice, but we don't deal with a ton of bugs in Colorado typically. So in the cockpit, they change out. It's pretty Spartan in a Promaster, but this is an Apple CarPlay receiver that's tied into the vehicle, so reverse camera and everything works with that. Other than that, not much to talk about up here, honestly. The doors have actually a really good amount of storage down there, some cup holders and like some big pockets, and there's this space, glove box, another one up here. I mean, there's like a lot of good storage here, and then a lot of nice storage up above here. I've actually emptied this out. So all of my stuff is out because this is my last day with the van. So I've emptied it out, and I just got to clean it a little bit. So these both turn around. Let me go ahead and do that for you real quick. So these both spin around all the way to basically open up the living space in here. And this is a nice little table that comes out of here. So nice little table, workspace or whatever for that. And then this one gets a little bit close here. You can kind of back it up a little bit so you can kind of sit there fully. But I'll usually have it kind of angled like this. Otherwise, you're just kind of faced into this. It does spin all the way, but again, just kind of faced into that. But nice little spot to eat here if you want, or pull that out and you kind of have another spot here. And then so basically from hanging out here in the front seats, you have all this room. And this is what I've really liked about this van, just how much room there is to kind of hang out. Like a lot of good seating here. So I really do like this layout. This floor plan has the bathroom in the back here. So you have your shower, this curtain pulls around, you have your own vent, toilet. This is a little fold down sink. And then you kind of have a wardrobe back here, which is kind of like, this is kind of like your bathroom walk-in closet area. So you have like this area with some hangers. Here's the ladder I was talking about. I just kind of storing here, but had a bunch of storage in here, some hanging storage back before I took everything out. And then you have a few drawers. And then I'll show you from the outside back of the van here in a little bit as well. So it's nice kind of back here. What you have back here is a bunch of manual switches to control things. And so you have that back there if you're sitting down. And then you have this whole touchscreen system that shows you all your solar info. You can hook this up to your app as well, so you can control all this stuff from your app. Check all your levels, turn off and on lights. Every single light in here dims, so you can adjust all the brightness of everything, which is really nice. And yeah, and then you have the awning that goes out. I won't do it all the way, but it's a powered awning, super big, super nice. Has an awning light here as well. And the nice thing about the light is it provides light both when the awning is all the way closed and when the awning is all the way open as well. So yeah, most of the time we just hang out here in kind of like bench seat modes. So, you know, you can hang out here, put your feet up. We'd have the dogs kind of hanging out over here or whatever. And all these windows are like slider opening windows as well. You have these all around. So pretty good visibility outside the van. And then all these curtains drop as well. And then you have the Max Air fan up here. And then the air conditioner here. and then a Truma heating and water heating system. And that'll blow the hot air out of some various vents like that. A lot of good storage drawers here, a drawer under there. That's storage in the front I talked about, and even more storage up here, though, just a heads up, you will hit your head on that from time to time. But luckily it's kind of soft. It's kind of like a soft touch, so not super hard or anything. And then a ton of cabinet storage, a ton of cabinet space, which is nice as well. These have little latches on the bottom that you just push in, and then those will hold themselves up. Everything in here is carpet lined. This one has some kind of multimedia connections. This is where you turn on and off your inverter. So that'll power basically the microwave and a couple other things. It does have the TV, which we have actually used a little bit. I had a little mini projector mounted there that projected onto this curtain when it pulled down. I pulled that off, but comes with the TV. It's kind of like a classic RV feature that most people using iPads and stuff of my generation, so maybe not required, but kind of nice to have as well as the sound system, which has speakers both inside as well as out here. And I've actually used those speakers for kind of like party mode and stuff when hanging out camping and whatnot. So here is a convection microwave, which is clutch, man. You can use it as a regular microwave, so just heat up some top ramen or whatever. But we've baked cookies in here. We've done all kinds of cool stuff. So convection microwave, very cool addition to the van because it's kind of multifunction. And then a little fridge freezer combo here, kind of what you're used to seeing at like a hotel or whatever. This is DC AC, so it'll operate on shore power when the generator's running, or just off of the 200 amp hour batteries that are on here. We have a sink. This guy folds up here. This is kind of a cutting board, has a drying rack in here. Pretty standard sink. And then Dometic 2-burner cooktop here. This is really nice. This is a really nice cooktop. I actually got one of these cooktops on the way to put into my Land Cruiser, my 80 series Land Cruiser drawer system that I'm building. I like this one so much. A little pop-out outlet here that has some USBs and some standard household outlets as well. We kept a little trash can down there. We added a little paper towel holder. I changed out one of these lights. So these lights are kind of like little reading lights that can go blue or white, kind of a warm white color. What I wanted was a USB port to kind of charge things back here. So this was like a 5-minute job where I basically popped that out and put this light in. So this has its own switch here, kind of night light or whatever, and has an always on USB port here to charge some devices. Hung some string lights, put a couple more RAM kind of track channels. They have a few of them throughout the van, like over here, so you can mount your iPads and your accessories and stuff like that. Little random little bits of storage here and there to kind of utilize the space, but this van really has no shortage of storage, again, with all the cabinets and everything. Then under here is not much. There's not really anything to access. It's got some electronics, the Truma system. There's a little access panel. This little square opens up, but there's not really anything to show down there. Your 2 more seat belts back here. And then this side, both of these have this thing that kind of pops up to allows this seat to kind of turn into like a lounger, like that. And then underneath here is actually a big thing of storage. So this is like a big storage bin, and behind there is the water tank. And then this is the little table that both can set up right here with some legs that are in that storage. So the legs pop in here and here, and that turns into like a big dining room table. So if you're playing games or card games or just want to eat a meal with like 4 or 5 people, each of these benches could seat 3 people like pretty easily on each side. So you can kind of have 6 people hanging out back here, 2 more people up there. So a really cool layout to just kind of hang out and spread out and have a lot of good room. So we've really liked this van. It's the longer Promaster. And I'll kind of compare and contrast it with the upcoming thing that I've been telling you about. And then, yeah, I said, actually, forgot a couple things back here. I said I'd show you what's going on back here. So if you wanna take a real nice nature dump, you can. So you can open these doors back here, sit down on the toilet and just have a legendary view. This is actually just my backyard, but if you were out in the mountains or something, obviously you're just, you know, hanging out here and pooping with a view. It's awesome. And then obviously the shower is right there. So if you want to do an outside shower off the back, you can. There's also comes with a little hose and the hose connection here. So this is actually, I mean, it has a ton of pressure. It's like pretty much just household garden hose pressure out of this thing. This is a little water pump control that you can turn on and off back here. This little light switch controls that light up here. Another outlet. And then obviously, like I mentioned, some storage in there. So yeah, that's it. Couple little storage guys here as well. But it's just been such a great and fun van. Gonna be sad to see it go, but it's been sweet. The factory color of this is just this kind of like charcoal gray. You can see underneath the wrap here. But yeah, those are just some mods. If I was living with it, if I owned this, if I was gonna have it kind of long term, I'm sure I'd do like more kind of interior modifications, customizations. But again, since this was just kind of a loaner, I didn't go too crazy in there. Oh, the other thing is I did add these little WeatherTech kind of rain guard visors. Well, I think that's it on the Jayco Swift. Again, I'll link to stuff down below if you're curious of any of these various modifications and whatnot. Been really happy with all of them, but all good things must come to an end, or when one door closes, another one opens. Or as a band I listened to in my younger years, Semisonic, closing time, they say every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So this is the end of you. Have great journeys. And actually, right now, I'll show you the new van. Just like that, Jayco's new terrain 4x4. So this is based on the 144 Sprinter 4x4. A little more my style, will fit my needs a little better here in Colorado. Already been loving this thing. Haven't even taken it out on an adventure, but it drives really nice. I'll be doing full walk around kind of as you see it here, just completely bone stock how you would get it. And then obviously I'm going to be modifying this and upfitting it. So if you're into that, get subscribed, follow along for the journey. Huge shout out obviously to Jayco, my partner and manufacturer in this build, but I'm gonna have this van for a while, so you can plan on me getting it very, very dialed. Looking forward to the adventures in this thing. Sorry about the crazy sun still, even though this is a different day, same story. Jayco, Sprinter, the Terrain 4x4. Sweet. And again, if you want to follow the adventures of the Swift, check out Aaron and Archer. I met them now. I'm filming this after I met them. I guess Aaron says his main thing is kind of TikTok over there, and his dog, Archer, if you're wondering, is a dog, his kind of trained service dog. So follow their adventures. I'll link them down below. And yeah, let me know thoughts on this, what you want to see, questions you have, and I'll get to all that very, very soon. All right, guys, until next time, take care.